Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and Mr. Davidson, thank you for appearing before our committee. I want to follow up on an item that I raised with you here when you were here in December. It's namely NTIA's ill-advised proposal to force labor union-friendly provisions into states as part of the BEAD process. I know that last week NTIA approved 3 state plans. All 3 of those states are right-to-work states. 2 of those states did not include any labor union mandates, while 1 included some limited mandates. And you realize in a right-to-work state, you cannot, you do not have to pay union dues to hold a job. My question is, Mr. Davidson, will you commit to me that NTIA will continue to approve BEAD plans by right-to-work states that decline to include the menu of labor union provisions NTIA is pushing?
Congressman, first of all, thank you for the question. We've discussed this a little bit before, and as you can see from the plans that we've approved, we expect to approve plans like the ones that you've seen. And I think we've said all along that the only real labor requirements in our NOFO are that they have to be in compliance with federal law. And I think that we've recognized the the issues that come up with right-to-work.
All that does run up the cost.
Yeah,
I mean, and prohibits some of our local folks from being able to do that. Let me ask you another question.
Sure.
Will you commit to me that NTIA will continue to approve BEAD plans by those right-to-work states and in compliance with their laws? I mean, the state laws. I mean, you know,
I think the answer to the
there's
first
also
question was
state
yes,
funding involved here. Okay. And small broadband providers have expressed growing concern with how states subject to NTIA approval may define the minimum area that any provider must apply to serve. They're worried that how a potential project area is structured may affect small company participation, ultimately impact rural broadband build-out. I'm concerned that how a project area is designed may discourage small rural providers from participating in the BEAD program. Has NTIA heard from smaller providers about this potential issue?
We have, and we share your concern.
Is NTIA planning to work with states on project sizes and how best to maximize deployment of fiber while also allowing the need for alternative technologies?
We are, and we are working with them, and it's an ongoing issue. We try to provide as much flexibility as possible to states, but we are tracking this issue, and we share the concern.
On Monday, NTIA, alongside other Department of Commerce agencies, took the first step in ensuring that Internet traffic reached its intended target and stays away from prying eyes of adversary nations like China. By implementing key Internet routing security measures, we are finally beginning to address a problem that has been a concern for over 20 years. What is the significance of this action, and do you believe other departments will follow the Department of Commerce's leadership on this issue?
It's very important. I'm so glad you asked about it. We do a lot of really nerdy things at NTIA. This was maybe one of the nerdiest that we've done, but it's also very important. Okay. Routing security is something that's often really overlooked, the ability to quickly change where traffic goes. This is a critical element. It's one also that has been underutilized both in the private sector and the public sector. The reason for what we did on Monday was to lift up the fact that it is not that hard to do this. We've put in place good contractual mechanisms that make it easier for federal agencies to do it. And now I think our hope is that there will be a lot of other federal agencies that will follow suit. We're glad to take the lead on that.
Good, and I'm glad you did. Thank you. The NTIA's most important role is the sole manager of spectrum for federal agencies and acting as the sole advisor to the President on spectrum matters. Both are clearly stated in current law. Obviously, we are out of spectrum. While federal agencies may have competing interests in spectrum use and their own assessment of how spectrum should be managed, shouldn't NTIA effectively be ceding its congressionally directed role to others if any one federal agency were permitted to act as a free agent and advocate for a particular spectrum-related outcome outside the NTIA spectrum management process?
So we take our statutory mandate very seriously. I think it's been reinforced under the presidential memo. We continue to exercise the authority that Congress has given us and make sure that we operate as the main advisor to the president on spectrum issues.
Well, if we are going to be a world leader, we have to figure the spectrum out.
Absolutely agree, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you.